Hey there and welcome. I wanted to do this Q&A because we had our live 3-day event this week. I teach for 3 days, an hour each morning, and then follow it with live Q&A. And if you missed any of that, you can go to the link here on the screen. It's naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, and you can catch the replays of each day. And also know that I have opened enrollment to the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program, and many wait for that to open. So take advantage of our open enrollment period right now. It's for a limited time, and it'll show you how long on that page too as well, from the time that you end up seeing this video, whether you're watching it live or see it days from now. But we had gone through my 4-stage process, and it's what I have learned in my 19 years of autism research, brought together from my 38 years being a craniosacral therapist studying the brain. And most importantly, why I was researching autism for the last 19 years was to recover my own son from his symptoms. And even after I was told that it wasn't possible and that I should drug him and try behavioral therapies, and good luck, there's really not much more you can do for him but manage his symptoms, I said, no, I have a holistic background. I have a lot of knowledge that scientifically it's proven that the brain can and does heal, but I didn't know that much about autism. So I had to go in and do my own research. I pretty quickly learned that the practitioners and therapists and various people that I was seeking for help just really didn't know what to do. And I was spending a lot of time and a lot of money not getting anywhere, not getting any results. And I know that you've likely experienced that too. And we need support, and we need support from somebody who has lived it and been through it. And since I've lived it and been through it and had such success with my son, today his symptoms are gone, even after I was told it was impossible. And so what I wanted to do is share all that I learned with you so that I could help you to save all of that research and jumping around from website to website all over the internet and trying different practitioners, hoping this one might have something the other one didn't, or different therapists or different supplements, not knowing how to use them, or will it work right, or when do I use it, how do I use it. It's all just a whirlwind. I know it's really, really hectic, very expensive. It is so expensive. Some people are taking second mortgages out on their homes to get their kids better. And there are such amazing parents out there that are trying so hard for their kids. And I wanted you to have that roadmap that you deserve to be able to get the results in a streamlined fashion. And we know, and I always am clear, every child's level of recovery is different, but we know that all children can improve, and at any age, because I've seen it over and over and over. Some symptoms might remain, but they can reduce, and the child could be happy and healthy and live an independent life where once it wasn't, thought that they could. Or, some kids who were just struggling in special education classes, their moms join my program, they start doing the work. A couple of those kids I know for a fact, their parents have said now they're on the honor roll at school. Some that were told their child would never speak by those specialists and experts. And those kids from my program today are speaking. So everybody's different, and we don't know exactly what your child's outcome will be until we've done all of the right things and they've been done thoroughly and properly. And that's why I created the program. In day 1, I talked about the stages 1 and 2 of my 4-stage process. And again, you can catch the replays to get all the details, but I'll give a quick recap here. So in stage 1, it's all about foundational support. Our kids' detox pathways are really not working well at all. They're backed up with toxins and infections, and they really, really need to have some toxin binders and a couple supplements and things that are in place to start strengthening those, as well as the dietary changes. And I talked about some foods to eat and some to avoid. I also gave a download in day 1 for some nutritional resources that are in powder form that can help you get some nutrition into your child now, and that can help calm behaviors as well. But by removing some of the key problematic foods that I mentioned again in day 1 of the event, then you will be able to stop putting more of the problematic pesticides in, the problematic toxins, the problematic foods that cause inflammation in the body, that prevent the body from making the brain messengers that it needs, like serotonin and dopamine, that help us stay calm and sleep well, and be able to focus and concentrate. So all of these things are really important to remember, that we want to cover all the bases. And yes, as you're doing the picky eaters dietary transitions, it's okay. It takes time for some people. That's okay. As long as you're doing the process, you're starting it and trying it. So that was day one. We're setting up the foundation and starting the nutritional aspects. And I talk about toxin binders and how important those can be as well. So you can, again, go back and look at the replays. They're up for a limited time, as well as the enrollment, all on the page at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. So make sure you go there in a timely manner so that you don't miss it before the page expires. Stage 2, we talked about natural and safe heavy metal detoxification. And this is important because the DMSA, the pharmaceutical drug that you'll get at most practitioners' offices, that gives a lot of, it allows for reabsorption of the toxins back into the system as they're trying to be excreted. It takes out good minerals like calcium and magnesium that we're really already deficient in. So there are a lot of downsides to that. The natural spray that I use, and I talk about it and give you the link in day one's replay, you can go watch now. I talk about it because it's a spray. It tastes like water. It's very easy to give, and it doesn't allow for any reabsorption of toxins. It doesn't take any of the good minerals out. It's all safe, natural, and easy to give, because it's, again, a spray that tastes like water. So that's super easy. So those are the first 2 stages. Then in day 2 of the event, we talked about stages 3 and 4. And stage 3 are the co-infections of autism. They are the most missed pieces of any autism protocol. And if they are found, they are usually worked with improperly. Testing for them is very, very inaccurate. So if you get a test that says your child doesn't have it, you might think, well, they don't have it, so I don't need to do anything about it. And that's usually something that ends up getting missed. Or if they are found, if the test does happen to show it, because they're very unreliable, then if the test happens to show it, they're usually given a bunch of antibiotics. And that's what practitioners know. And antibiotics, many of these are antibiotic-resistant infections, so those don't work. We use proprietary organic elixirs in my program, which I'm not able to give outside of the program because you need my guidance using them, and they're very small batch organic formulas. So there are ways to work with these things naturally and safely. Some of those co-infections, you might have heard of mold biotoxins, making sure your home is mold-free. The body can't dispel the toxins from mold when it's exposed to it, so it creates a cascade of inflammation in the body, inflaming the brain, even damaging the brain, crossing that delicate blood-brain barrier. And but the good news is these things are reversible. But know that mold can cause like extreme fatigue, real lack of mental clarity. Your child can't think, they can't, focus, they're super tired. There are a lot of motor skill issues that come with it, as do some of these things I always mention with all of the things that we work with, like heavy metals and other infections, that the symptoms really overlap with one another. So it's very important that we work with all 4 stages thoroughly so nothing important gets missed. Like PANS is an acronym for an autoimmune issue that from mold and Lyme disease, which we also work with. Lyme is very prevalent in children with autism, as are viruses and parasites. We work with all of them naturally and safely. And you'll see that, these neurological issues they have of lack of focus, or they're even wild and rageful, anger, tantrums, some of them get. These are all overlapping with some of these infections and toxins, or their, the inability to focus, or the picky eating and the OCD and the speech issues. All of these things, there are multiple things that overlap. A lot of parents get eager and they say, how can I make my child speak? How can I help them speak? And so It's a few different things for speech, okay? And I never wanna just say it's one. So this is why it's important that we work with all of them and we work with them safely. So we do that in my program. Again, the program enrollment is open right now for a limited time. Please go there and check it out. In day 3, I did do an overview of what the program offers you, how it works, how, yes, you get one-on-one time with me. You can ask me a question in the forum anytime you want. The program is laid out in a sequential, step-by-step order, giving an exact sequence for you to follow so that you know exactly what to do and when to do it. So it's done properly, it's done safely, and so that you get the best results. I always say be patient because things can take time, and you just do it on your child's timeline too, how their body is able to take on the next supplement or the next thing that we're doing, because there's no timeline or hurrying up here. You have to go at your child's pace because every child is different. And so that becomes something that you learn. This is a very educational program. I teach you a lot in the program. I take 38 years of not only brain research, but my body work background, my nutritional background, and a lot of other knowledge that I have from my years of experience, and also going through the journey with my own son from his symptoms of autism. I walk you through all of that in my program. Everything is in one place. You don't have to go out there searching all over the place trying to find the answers anymore. It's all in there for you. We cover A to Z. And again, it's all very, very thorough, but in a comprehensible way. So you can go learn more about it by listening to the day 3. Again, I talked about it in the replay. And then it's also, some of it is written out on the page where you can enroll right now and join at, again, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. That page has everything on it for the replays of all 3 days of the live event we just did, and along with the Q&A time, and then also information about the program and how it works and how to join the program. It's an instant access to. You'll have an email from me within 5 minutes after you join, and you'll be able to get that email. If you don't see the email right away, like within 5 minutes, check your spam folder because it should be there. For any reason you miss it, go to support@naturallyrecoveringautism.com and we will help you. But it should be there within 5 minutes, so check your spam folder. So once you get that email, it's going to have your privacy protected login details to our private membership site. It has everything you need in it, but that email is going to tell you how to get started. So you know where to go. It's their Start Here page and the introduction page are going to give you everything you need to know. I've offered some extra bonuses, a private Elixir reading, the forum, of course, that I mentioned where you can ask me questions 24/7 is available to you. We have a live monthly call like this where I answer questions in the chat for everybody. The whole community comes together. We have some phenomenal parents making true success in the program already right now, many parents. And I also give some of the testimonies that we have on the page at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go as well, so you can see what has happened, what kind of results parents are getting from this program. It's been going for almost 10 years now, about 9.5 years. And so it's been refined and fine-tuned and it's had a lot of success over the years. So I hope that you do enroll in the program and join it now while enrollment's open, because it is bar none the absolute best way that I can help you. Otherwise, it's just, I don't want to see you. There's nothing in any book that could be as thorough as the program or step by step, or there's so many things that we just can't answer in a book. There are things that you might find jumping around from one practitioner, or might have a few of the answers, but not all of them. This is a complete roadmap for you. And I want you to have that because it will ease your mind, for one, take away a lot of the worry and stress that I know that you have, because I've lived it. Take away the time and expense that you are currently spending on having to search for answers, for where to find the answers, what to do next, or how to do it, and being able to give you everything that you need right there in the site with a step-by-step guide, and including links directly to a supplement when you need it and showing you when you need it. And I don't sell the supplements. They're on the website, in the member site. And you just click the link. Many have given us discount codes to get a discount on their product. So the company offers that. Click the link, you purchase it, they mail it to you online. The program is available 24/7 to you once you're in it, because all you need is Wi-Fi. You can do it on your phone, a tablet, desktop, anything you like. And it's available worldwide. I know that we're in over 40 countries. And so all you need is Wi-Fi anywhere. You can do this from anywhere you are. You don't have to be, there's a lot of people might be in a rural area where they don't have the resources near them. But even then, if you're in a big city and you've got a lot of resources, you're all over the place. You're trying different therapies, trying different supplements. You're still researching on the internet, trying to figure it out. And this is what I wanted to help you be able to avoid, to streamline it and save you the time and expense that I have already spent figuring it out and having such success with my own son, and now being able to help thousands of parents around the world that have had success from this program as well. And then stage 4, I teach in day 2 of this event too, because brain support and repair comes last. Because if you're doing a bunch of therapies with your child and they're having a really hard time doing the task that is asked of them, it's not because your child is not intelligent. It's because the toxins and inflammation on their brain from pathogens and infections and toxins, all of these things, are causing their brain to not be able to think clearly and to function properly and speak properly. All of these behaviors, these symptoms that we see, they're nothing more than that, a symptom. And so we come in the program, we're working with the underlying root causes of what is causing the symptom. Whenever I see any symptom, I think, well, okay, it's a symptom. What's causing it? I'm all about let's look at the cause, work with the causes, and then that's when the symptoms reduce greatly for many, or even for some, are removed altogether. And in what your child's outcome will be and in what timeline, we don't know, because every child is unique and everybody's level of toxins and infections is different. But I've helped parents with their kids who were level 3 severe autism. They were told they'd never speak, who are now dropped down to level 1. They're doing well. They're happy. They're healthy. They're speaking. Many of them, there's immense success that has come with this. And 9 years has given us enough time to see how well it works. So it's not really on trial. It's a matter of going through it slowly, patiently, and following the steps and doing them all and not leaving anything important out. So as you follow the steps, at least you're in the right place and you're not scattered all over the place anymore. You have the right resources right there for you in a roadmap to follow. I'm going to look here. Looks like we might have a couple of questions. Ethel, what's the best organic brain supplement for brain development? I also need links to supplements to help my son with brain supplements. So this is why I developed the program. Ethel, that's more than just one quick answer here that I could even do in a couple of minutes. There are many good brain supplements, but it's a matter of finding out what, like, even if you gave me a whole bunch of symptoms, like, okay, he can't focus, he's having tantrums, he can't speak, whatever the symptom is, we still want to work with the underlying cause. It's not just one supplement. And I would be neglectful and not be responsible if I started just throwing out different supplement names and links here, because you need guidance on how to use things. You need to know what to use. You need to know when to use them, because there are things that should be used in a sequential order, because even omega-3 fatty acids, which are excellent for the brain, well, they're fatty. So it's a natural and a good fat. But if your child's gut is really, really ill and they're not tolerating fats yet, well, even good fats, remember in day 1, go back and look at day 1 if you missed it, because I talked about the bad fats to avoid and then the good fats. But even if they're good fats, which our brain needs, if their body's not digesting them properly, they might not be absorbing them and the nutrition from them, the elements that they need from them. They might get nauseous if they can't handle fats, because the gallbladder and the liver work together, and the liver is our organ of detoxification, and it gets really overwhelmed with all these toxins. So if you have too many fats too quickly, it can make us nauseous. So it's just a matter of, again, knowing what to do and when to do it. And so that's why I say that the program is going to save you from jumping around or thinking that there's just one supplement I need for my child's brain. Well, there are a lot of them. But first, we also want to make sure that we're getting all of that stuff out of the way. It's why I talk about stage 4 being brain support and repair, because if you're doing therapies that have been shown to be the most expensive part of autism protocols, therapies, then I have parents, including myself, pulled my child out of therapies because they weren't working for him and it was harming his self-esteem, and he never needed to go back to therapies. I have shared Nanti. She is a mom in the program, and she had her son in speech therapy, spending $95 a week, $380 a month, just on that one therapy alone. She joined my program, saw that it really wasn't working for her son in the speech therapy. So she joined my program, pulled him out of the speech therapies, did the program steps for the underlying causes that we work with. Her son never needed to go back to speech therapy, and he's speaking well now. It's not, you can't force a round peg into a square hole, right? We want to say, let's teach you how to speak. Let's teach you how to behave. Well, let's let them be who they are and let their natural abilities come out when we get rid of these underlying causes. And these are health related, okay? They are biological issues that are going on. Toxins, inflammation is the biggest culprit, and they're caused by toxins and pathogens and infections that are in our kids' bodies that we need to work on for their health. Once we can work on their health, the inflammation goes down, and then the brain can just function, without all this anxiousness, without tantrums. It can be calm, it can focus and work better. Motor skills, everything works better. So it's very important, and it's about health. Okay, good. Gonna become a member as soon as you finish moving. Oops. So, Kathika, if you're in the program and you've been following the diet and detox for a while, I'm not sure too, you said a biomedical, but still parasite infection is present. There are a lot to parasites. So if you're working with somebody who is working with parasites, they may not be working with them adequately. Parasites are very tricky, and they need to be worked with very effectively. They can be the parasite. I don't know if you're in my program. I don't think you are. And so we can even redo our parasite protocol like 3 times in a row, which can be up to like 9 months, because what we use is safe and it's okay to be on longer term. Some things are not. But parasites also cycle, so they lay eggs, and those eggs hatch. And there's a 9-month gestation period. So we also have to keep after them. So once we've done a therapeutic protocol, we see if we see any in the stool or symptoms still, because parasites rarely show up in tests. But if we can see them and we know that they're still there, we continue with not all protocols, because I don't know what else you're using, but mine we can. Follow it and continue it further and continue. And then once you get them really where you kind of are like, okay, the symptoms are gone, and we're not seeing any in the stool, and then you still, I say on a calendar, 9 months later, 8 months later, put it on your calendar to redo it again, because that's about the gestation period of those eggs that were laid by the adults that you killed off 8 months ago. 8-9 months later, they're hatching. Those babies are hatching. You're going to have a new infestation. So there is a lot to it. So it takes time and patience. Sent the link to your inbox. Okay, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go is where you go for all of the information and enrolling into the program for the replays of the 3-day live event that are still there for a limited time. So make sure you watch in a timely manner. Liba, which supplement is good for? I get this. Which supplement is good for this? All the time. And it's why I created the program, because there are so many things. You've had tests done, Liba. The absorption of your son, you want better absorption of his food. Yeah, because his gut's not working well. He's low in most nutrients and minerals and iron. And so all of these have other causes. Candida and viruses affect our iron absorption. There's anemia that comes from that. And we don't want to just supplement with iron, because there are some negatives to that as well. There are a lot of things that you do need to know that I'm surprised most people are not taught or told by any practitioners, but I don't know if some practitioners even know, honestly. So you need to work with the underlying cause. You don't want to just throw a supplement into everything and think that's the natural fix-all, because we don't want to just try and do a quick Band-Aid. There are things we want to do to helping absorption, but the way to help absorption is by healing the gut. And that comes with all that I have implied with all 4 stages. The first 3 stages are essential to healing the gut, not just number 1, healing the gut for changes in the diet, which are absolutely necessary, yes, because you got to get rid of the inflammatory and toxic foods and the ones that are damaging the gut. You've got Candida, Lyme, and mold pathogens all damaging the gut lining. Parasites also. You've got heavy metal toxins also damage the gut. So I keep talking about this and reiterating it, and as I did in the 3 stages in the 3 days of our event, that it's never just one thing. You've got to do all of it, because there are all of these underlying causes damaging the gut continually, preventing better nutritional absorption. And you do need to, as you're changing the diet and doing a better job getting better nutrition into them, you want to also be working properly with these underlying causes. And that is what we do in my program and what most others miss. And that's why I developed the program for you, for parents of children with autism, because I know you're living the life that I have lived. I've been there. I've done it myself. I went through it with my son. I know how challenging it can be. I know the stress. I know the financial stress. And I know the challenges of trying to figure it out for yourself and not feeling supported and not having somebody who not only gets it and listens to you and actually hears you and validates you, but also somebody who has the right answers, and not just little bits and pieces of things, but actually an A to Z, everything you need. It's in one place. And you can see it equals less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day is what it is for your investment in this program too. It is bar none the best thing that I think that is out there that can help you. There are so many ways you could go about it, but you can go the slow way where you're jumping around and you're also spending a lot more time and money on things that don't work, trying to figure it out on yourself, or the fast and more peaceful way here in the program, where you can be led through it by somebody who has walked it and knows what's going on and gives you a step-by-step roadmap guide to follow and support on the way. So it's all here for you. That's why I don't just throw out supplement names, because that's not a one fix answer. It's not, we don't want to use a Band-Aid to just take care of like one thing. We want to get to the underlying causes so your child can be healthy again, because really right now they're not healthy and they need to be. I mean, there are so many toxins in our environment today and different things that are affecting us. And so I teach you the step-by-step process to walk your child through for supplements, for diet, and then also one of the bonuses I'm offering right now is my environmental toxins resource guide. For anybody who joins right now, you'll find it right there on the top of the resources page for you. And I've also added it to the bottom of the detoxification page for you. So these extra pages are there for your knowledge and learning as you go, to help you have other key tools to know how to assist your child's body with detoxification. Because of my body work and craniosacral background, I have knowledge about the body. So I teach you how to do some things for your child at home. So you don't you have to always rely on trying to find somebody else for it. I also give links to how to find a qualified professional in that type of work, like craniosacral, if you want to go get a session done by somebody who is educated, not just somebody who had a weekend class, but somebody who is truly educated. I give you those resources in their program as well. There's a page on sensory and calming, all about ways, natural ways to help calm your child, um, that are really, really helpful. I teach muscle testing. There's a page on muscle testing where you can learn how to utilize that as an extra tool. If you like, I give it there so that you can use it if you want to know how to test to see if a supplement is right for your child right now or at what dosage. But I also teach you very well how to start at the very, very lowest dosage possible and slowly, very slowly, incrementally go up with one thing at a time, because we don't want to send your child into a rapid die off and detox reaction. So you have detox help, you have a whole piece on home environment protection, how to clean up your home, not only just how to, but resources to how to do it. Specifically, a quality water filter, how to find out and test for mold properly, how to eradicate it properly, um, knowing about different toxic, getting rid of not toxic cleaning agents in your home, and laundry detergents and soaps and lotions and all of those things. There's a lot of triggers. Knowing more about diet, there are a lot of healthy foods that can be big triggers of histamines and oxalates, things that can cause a lot of anxiety for your child that you might not really have realized was a problem for them, and why they might not be, behaving well after they eat. And that is not really because they're just behaving that way. These kids don't have control over most of their behaviors. We have to understand that. This isn't a disciplinary thing. This is one thing that my husband and I lived through personally. We were told by multiple therapists over and over and over, true fact, that if you were just better parents, then he wouldn't behave this way. Basically, if you were firmer with discipline, you need to be firmer. So basically blaming us, telling us it was us as parents. And we were good parents doing everything we knew how to do, and there was no discipline that was working. My son had extreme oppositional defiance disorder, and that's just really not fun to try to parent. And that is today all gone, all of it gone, completely gone. He is the nicest, mellowest, most easygoing guy. He's a sweetheart. He's a college graduate with a bachelor's degree. He lived 1,000 miles or more away from me when he was at college, living on his own, absolutely fine and independent. Today, he lives on his own independently, has a full-time great job, financially independent, lives with one of his best friends. He rents a room from his buddy who owns the house. I mean, it's all I hoped for him someday. He's happy, healthy, and living a good life. And there was definitely a time when he was a little guy that I was not sure that he was ever going to be able to live an independent life, or what was his future going to look like, right? And I know that that is one of our biggest fears as parents, is what is going to happen to my child someday when I'm not able to take care of him, or when I'm not here anymore. What is going to happen? And so I give you resources now to get your child to their best, most independent self they can be, at least the most healthy, the calmest, and the most peaceful. All of these things, we want to work on them to find out what your child's ultimate outcome can be. And we don't know that until all of these stages and steps have been done properly and thoroughly. Both of those are important. It's not just thoroughly, it's also properly. It's not just properly, it's also thoroughly. And I give you that A to Z. And you take your time with it. There's no hurrying and no keeping up. There's no rush. You start in the beginning where I show you, and here's the first supplement. It even says number 1. Okay. And then you start adding that. I give you exact instructions on how to start it and how to slowly titrate up. And okay, when it's time to add in the next one, here's number 2. right? And then you learn more about diet and other things along the way as you're doing those things, but you're making progress as you're learning at the same time because you know the roadmap now. You have the roadmap. You have the specific sequential step-by-step roadmap to follow. So it makes it easier for you. That is the whole point there. Hi, Sally, a great aunt. Good for you for helping. And you believe my program's amazing. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. My niece and husband both work full time and are so overwhelmed, and I can't take on more thing. She's not science based, so if I could get two sets of able grandparents, how much of their time would you need to do this? She just turned 10. So, this is a great question, Sally. It does not need to require a lot of time. So as you move forward in the program, you can literally spend 10 minutes a couple days a week if you really wanted to. I mean, in the beginning, you're learning a couple of the ins and outs. So maybe you're spending, 30 minutes initially, like, okay, this is what the start here and introduction page say to do. The quick guide tells me to go here to this page for to start with the toxin binders. And here's the first supplement that I need to order. And there are a couple of them are from the same company, and I say that right there. So if you want to save in shipping, because you'll need them soon, order the first couple together. Then you have those, and those are implemented over the next week or two as you're starting them. Then when you're ready, you order the next supplements in line. So that's all it really takes. I think people see all that the program offers and tend to overcomplicate it and confuse it because they think they have to do everything all at once. I'm like, no. I release the whole program at once because everybody's timeline is different with how fast your child is able to progress. And that is based on how well they are able to take the supplement, their level of die-off or detox reactions. So some can move forward a little bit more quickly than others. And so I want you to be able to move forward at your pace. I don't want to say, oh, I've just released this part of the program, and when everybody's at this point, we'll release the next. I don't want you to have to wait. That's why we release everything at once, but you don't need to look at anything further down the road. And that's where sometimes I think maybe I should cut it off at some point and say, okay, you're going to get that later. But again, I don't want you to have to wait for if your child's timeline moves more quickly. So just look at what is in the very beginning. In the email that you'll get from me as soon as you join, again, like I said, you'll get an email within 5 minutes. It will be in your email. If you don't see it after you've hit submit and you've joined, check your spam folder because it could be in there, but you should have an email with it within 5 minutes from me. If for any reason you don't, go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com. Go to write to support at naturallyrecoveringautism.com to learn about the program, get the replays, and enroll in the program right now. That link is naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. So I hope that answers your question, Sally. It really doesn't have to take a lot of time. It's really a matter of just being able to look at what the program has, what your step is today, and taking that step today. And then you might not be ready for the next step for a couple of days, or you're busy for a couple of days, and then in a couple of days you come back and you implement the next step. So, and some kids, the first one or two supplements, their child is showing a little bit of detox symptoms, so they're starting really slowly, and they're not moving on to the second or third or fourth supplement for maybe a week or couple of weeks. So everybody's different. And then others they're able to move right along. They'll say, oh, things are going well. I'm moving right along. Somebody else says, boy, I'm still, on the first page with toxin binders. And I'm like, that's okay. You're at least doing the right thing because the level of infections and toxins is just much greater for some kids. Their detox pathways, or maybe some are working a little bit better than others. It just varies. But it doesn't have to take a lot of time. The answer is definitely does not need to take a lot of your time. This is meant to save you time and money because you just know what to do next. And that first email that you'll get from me tells you where to go. It'll give you your login details to the member site, and then it'll show you where to where to go next. There's a start here page and an introduction page. And so they will lead you to the steps that you take, show you how to navigate the site. I give short 5-minute videos to teach you, the lay of the land, or other little learning lessons along the way in the program. But it's meant to save you time. I don't want it to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't, that's what most people, and sometimes I think overwhelm hits and it becomes an excuse. Like, I just don't have time. Like, what you don't have time for is to run around to multiple therapists, multiple practitioners, or spend all of your precious time on the internet Googling and trying to figure out what is next, or this came out in the press lately, so this says it's the cure for speech, and so everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, and that's all you need to do, they think, and it's not. There's more to it. And so you really want to have the best results for your child, and I want to see your child have the best results. Autism is so prevalent, and we all see it everywhere we go, and there are solutions, and I just want you to know that they exist here for you. I always think of that parable, where the guy's on top of his roof in a flood, and the water's rising up, and and somebody comes over in a boat, and it says, no, God's going to save me. I'm fine. And so the guy in the boat goes, okay, and goes away. And then a helicopter comes and throws him down a road and says, grab the rope and I'll help you. And he's, no, I'm good. God's going to save me. And then, the next thing he knows, he's up in heaven. He says, God, why didn't you save me? He said, I did. I sent you a boat, a helicopter, a rope. You didn't take any of them. Right? So maybe this is your helicopter or your boat. So, here it is. It's being offered you now. I always say there are no coincidences. You landed here today for a reason. You saw this. And now it's, you make the choice to dive in, and finally be on the right roadmap is what I call it, like have the right sequence going for yourself. So, okay, let's see here. Is there any way I could just, I can never get, the book is more of like a what and why, the liver processes, toxins, what they do, all of that, with some steps, but it's a very abbreviated form. I could never, ever put all that is in the program into any book. And we use proprietary organic herbal formulas that I can't even offer outside of the program to anybody. You get your personalized elixir reading. We have very, very deep specifics in the roadmap of the program. So that's the big, big difference. The program is bar none the best thing out there. It really is. And it's the best online program there is. I've never seen anything. And people say that all the time. Wow, I saw somebody and they had a couple of the steps here, a couple of things, but none of the rest of it. Like, nothing had all of the things that you have. And I hear that over and over because it's true. Nobody knows the full A to Z and how to do it naturally and safely without drugs. Okay, we're not throwing a bunch of antibiotics or different like antifungal things that are druggy at things. We don't want to make those pathogens be able to get stronger either, which is what a lot of those things do. We want to target them safely and effectively, but in the right timeline. We have to set the bodies up for that. So that's really important. Let's see. How long will the enrollment be open as grandparents are very careful to not want to offend? Oh yeah, there's that offensive thing. We talked about that a little bit yesterday in day 3 of the event. It's always hard when somebody gently is telling somebody else that, especially a relative, like I really, see that there's some, I think that your child might have some symptoms of autism. And then they're like, no, there's nothing wrong with my child. My child perfectly fine. And they won't do anything. That child's not going to get the help that they need. And it's not that we're trying to fix a child or make them somebody they're not. What we're doing is helping them be healthy, helping them be who they are. So I gently say to approach those people, whether it's your daughter, your son, if your grandma, or And just say, I noticed, that he has a little trouble focusing. Maybe don't use the autism word or something like. He's always, but I was just listening to this woman has this program, and she's talking about how much it can help, with focus. Like, or you find out what the parents really seem to care about. Like, I wish you could do better in school. You might hear that kind of thing, right? It'll be subtle. And then you could say, I heard that this program will really help with kids in school because it's really helpful for helping them focus. You might want to take a look at it. I think it could be really good for, Jimmy, and just kind of subtly inch in for those defensive parents. And I have, parents in my program who said I was once defensive. That I just interviewed Kara for my podcast. This week we released it. She's lovely. If you have not listened to her yet, and she is one of my members, and she talks about the success she's had with her son in my program, and that is at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/231, because I think it's episode number 231, but it's right on my website as well. But with Kara, where her son wouldn't pay any attention to them, wouldn't focus, wouldn't speak, and now he's like focusing and paying attention to everything, and he's saying "I love you," which she's like, now he says it all the time, and he would never say it before. He wouldn't even barely talk to us or look at us. He didn't have much verbal skills either. Now he does, all from being in the program. And so she goes, when my mom first told me that she thought that, my son had something like autism going on, she said, I didn't want to hear it. And she said, finally, I realized there might be something going on, and I wanted to help him. And so we just hope that people get to that place where they can get, to where they just want to help their child, regardless of any thought they may have in their own head about a stigma around it or whatever that means. It's simply about getting everybody the help that they need so that they can live a better life and get their health back, get their independence, get their speech, get their focus, whatever it is, or all of the above, right? And help them live their best quality of life possible, because that's really what we want, or the optimum results for every individual. And that's what I believe that this program offers everyone, that chance at knowing what that is once you've done every step thoroughly and properly. So at that, I will end this for today. You've all been lovely. I appreciate what you're doing for your children, your grandchildren, your nephews, everybody here who cares so much about the children to get them better, because we are absolutely the key to our child's success. Without us advocating for them, taking the steps, they don't get better. It is up to us. And that's where you seeking out programs like this, like mine, and being willing to trust and take the step and the investment and join. And it's why I give some of my testimonials, so you can see this isn't just another program, because I know there's so many out there, and this is actually one that works. And we've had tremendous success, and it's A to Z, so you get everything in one place. The best time to begin, regardless of your child's level of severity or regardless of your child's age, is to start right here, right now. Today is the right time. So please, please join. You can have instant access to the membership site and be in today. Go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. It'll give you, there's some testimonials on the page you can read. There's some information about the program to learn more about it. The replays of days 1, 2, and 3 from the live event that I just finished are there for limited time, as well as is on that page the link to join the program right now while we have the enrollment period open. So please, please go now. And we also, when the enrollment period closes, we have, and it'll say on that page how many more days are left for enrollment to be open, depending on when you actually see this. Some people are seeing it live, some people are going to see it recorded. So go to the page at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go to learn all of those answers that you need and to join the program right now. and get instant access, and we can get started today. I look forward to helping you on this journey and hearing about your child's great success in it as well. Thank you again so much for being here, and have a great day.